I'm here with James from Jabra, and we are going to be talking about video conferencing. Now, video conferencing has become a central part of everybody's working routine. We all know that. But the experience leaves a lot to be desired. It needs to be improved. What can Jabra do to help?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think we've seen a lot of things with, particularly during the pandemic, maybe meeting equity not being exactly the same. So, for example, when we're actually looking at other people that are in the shots, we might not be able to see the whole room there. We might not be able to get a feeling of exactly what is happening within the room. Certainly with our products, what we're trying to do is increase that meeting equity. So that might be doing things like actually giving people an individual stream within that meeting room. So we've just announced something at ISE, which is our dynamic composition, which actually gives the last four speakers those individual streams there. We have features on our Panacast 50 as well, such as our intelligent Zoom or our virtual director, which actually can frame people as well within that room. So certainly that is all geared up towards making sure that people get the best possible experience. They really feel part of that meeting and can really understand what goes on in those meetings without really, being felt like they're being left out. Jabra has done a study where actually, with our new hybrid ways of work study, we've seen that 37% of people are actually feel left out of those meetings. So we want to make sure that we bring that down to as low a number as possible and make sure that everyone has the same experience.
Yeah, there's a lot of quality of life improvements that just need to be made when it comes to video conferencing. We hear all this talk about I'm feeling fatigued, I'm feeling stressed, and that's primarily due to the operation of VC on the part of the end user. What can be done to kind of just eliminate this stress from the platform, from the whole VC experience?
I think a lot of it is making sure that everything is automated. Everything is, stress-free. We need to make sure that everything is plug and play. When we're talking about, making sure we have the best experience, we don't want to actually have to be messing around with anything on the system. It has to actually just plug in and go. So, to that point, our Panacast 20 solution, that is a plug and play device. We'll zoom in on you, center you within the frame with our intelligent zoom there, and certainly can make things really easy for the user there. Even things like picture-in-picture that we have on Panacast 20, which actually enables you there to demonstrate something within the picture and then have yourself on a little inset window at the bottom. So it's really just making sure that, like you say, everything's automated through. It's very stress-free. There's none of this, having to start a meeting 10 or 15 minutes before and having things set up. It's all ready to go because we can eliminate a lot of the issues that you talk about there. And certainly through hybrid work, again, if we've got the right solutions that are connecting the office to the remote worker, we're making sure everyone's got the same experience. That's really what we're trying to do here. Bridge that gap so people can work in a hybrid way. They can use video conferencing around their own life, their own circumstances, and really make sure that everything from a technology perspective works fantastically well for them.
And lastly, when it comes to VC, you've got to touch on security. These products go on corporate networks, university networks. There are managers who are just really scared that something's going to go wrong. How can you address their concerns? How can you allay their fears?
Yeah, I think security is a really sort of key point because when you look at hybrid work, certainly there's a lot of devices now that are out there being managed in the cloud. So all these IT managers need to go out there, manage the devices from a central point. What we've done across all of our devices is we have SOC 2, which is effectively military-grade security on all our devices there. And we're effectively, anything we're doing, we are processing on the device itself. So we're not sending anything out into the cloud. When we go back to things we talked about earlier, like intelligent zoom, all those sort of features, it's done on the device itself. So no data is being sent, there's no lag there at all. And actually, another thing we're announcing at the event is on our Panacast 20. So we have background blur now that's going to be available for Panacast 20. Now you may say, well, I can already blur my background on something like Zoom or on Teams. Well, actually, we're doing that on the device itself. So when you use Teams or Zoom to actually change that background image, that's all going into the cloud. So it has the benefit of obviously bringing that security enhancement in. So you're doing everything on the device itself. And certainly for, financial institutions, that could be a really key thing that they may be looking at there. So we can put that image on there, make sure everything's done on the device there, and again, also has the added benefit of actually not putting any extra load on the processor itself as well. So some really, good things we're doing there from a security perspective, which hopefully gives both the end user that overall experience, but gives the IT manager as well that overall feeling that everything's secure, it's managed, and everything is in a good state for them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.